Hi there, it's Nicole for Handmade Holiday 2016, and today I'm sharing a idea for creating shaker tags. This isn't a new idea. I love shaker tags, but these are two new ones for this year. And both of these were created in almost an hour. It maybe took just a little bit longer because I added something additional, but not much more than an hour. If you're going to make more of these, it would of course take a little bit longer. So I am using one of my favorite stamp sets from Mama Elephant. This is the Reindeer Games stamps, and I absolutely love them. Plus, the Tags a Lot tag is the perfect size for creating an oversized tag. Now, accidentally, I did not turn my video camera on for die cutting parts of this project. Plus, you can see my light bouncing up there. I apologize. I'll fix that in a little bit. But I die cut a backer for the tag from some Simon Says Stamp Surf Blue cardstock you can see here. I die cut the opening for the tag using a Tags a Lot die and an all prettied up circle die. That's going to be the opening, so that's going to be the front. Plus I die cut the inside of that all prettied up circle from white cardstock. On the back of the tags, I am trying to figure out the best placement for the to and from images. Plus, I want to use that special delivery image or greeting from the Crafty Labels Mama Elephant stamp set. I decided to go with down in the bottom left corner with the for and from. And I'm using my MISTI so I can stamp these easily. If you were creating even more of these, that would make it so much quicker. As it is, it makes it fast just for creating two of them. So go ahead and take the special delivery image now, and I'm going to ink that up with Surf Blue ink, also from Simon Says Stamp. And I'm going to stamp that twice, one on top of another, to make the ink a little bit darker, but that's definitely a tone on tone. That way, when you go to write who the gift is for, it's going to be able to be legible over that greeting. If I'd stamped it in black, it would have been really hard to read. I am going to be adding something additional to the back of the tag here in a little bit, but I will show you that when the time comes. I'm also going to take my front of my tag now and stamp a greeting from another Mama Elephant stamp set, the Cozy Christmas. And I chose this greeting because it's perfect. It says, "Merry Christmas from our home to yours," which is exactly what I wanted. These are gifts for a couple of families that we're giving gifts to. And so I thought this was the perfect greeting for the front of this tag. If you didn't want to do a shaker tag, you could easily just make this a traditional regular tag. It's a nice oversized tag, which works great for a larger box or package. I'm going to take images now from Reindeer Games. Everything is from Reindeer Games except for that larger candy cane, which I just couldn't resist. And that's from the Woolly Winter stamp set, which is very similar to Reindeer Games, but Woolly Winter was released this year and Reindeer Games last year. I'm going to stamp all of these images twice for both of my tags. If you're creating more than two, you're going to want to do this more than that. I am using that same candy cane image, that small one, twice on each tag, so I needed to stamp it one additional time. I'm going to color in my images with Copic markers. This is pretty quick coloring. The candy canes are so teeny tiny, there is no blending really needed here. So very fast, I'm trying to do all of the red with all at one time. Then I'm going to move on to the reindeer, and from there I'll do the little bird. I'm doing the bird in the exact same colors that I'm doing the reindeer to make it easy, to keep it fast. I'll color in the reindeer's faces, then the rest of the reindeer and the antlers and the hooves. All of the colors of Copic markers I'm using are shown across the bottom of the screen. I'm using my favorite color combination for the reindeer. I've used this a lot, but I just love this color combination. Blend everything out. I accidentally started blending with my E40 instead of the E43, which was not working. And I'm going to color all the reindeer the same. I am not going to show coloring all the reindeer simply to save some time in the video so we can get to putting the shaker tag together, but all 4 of these are colored exactly the same. The only difference is I colored one of the noses on the reindeer red, and the other reindeer I'm going to color the nose brown. So only one of them is Rudolph on each tag. I guess I did leave in part of coloring in this reindeer. I did not think I did. Once all of this is colored, I'm going to take the coordinating Reindeer Games and Woolly Winter dies and die cut as many of these images with one pass of the machine as I can. So I will die cut everything here but one of the candy canes, since I'm going to need to use that die again. And I will flip it around, die cut the other side, and then go back and die cut those 2 additional candy canes. I'm going to take a black glaze pen and add detail to the open eyes on the reindeer. I'm also going to take some glossy accents and apply that to the noses on all 4 reindeer. That's going to make them nice and shiny. It's one of my favorite things to do, especially to these reindeer images. And then I'm going to take some gems, or these are just little flat embellishments from Hero Arts, and adorn the collars on each of the reindeer. That's why I left them white and didn't color them in with any Copic markers. I'll go ahead and set these aside while I work on the rest of the tag so the glossy accents dries. I need to take my tag and the insert so it lines up perfectly, and I need to mask off a little area along the bottom. I could die cut a border, but this is so much easier and quicker, and it helps so the beads don't get stuck on, or whatever you put in the shaker doesn't get stuck as bad. I'm going to add some tumbled glass distress ink to this white background. Pretty easy, pretty quick. I'm going to pull that masking off so you can see that got the cute little snowy border, and this is what it's going to look like when I add my little reindeer and then the candy canes. So cute. One of the reasons I chose blue for my background, you could choose any color you wanted for the tag base, I guess I want to say, is it matches the packaging I'm using, but you could definitely use any color. I'll do this for the second circle insert as well. Add a little orange for the beaks on the birds, which I had forgotten. I'm going to go ahead and attach these with some Bling mini glue dots to the backs of the tags. So the bird is sitting right on top of the word delivery, that little swoop in the word delivery. Go ahead and do that for both of my tags. Also add a little embellishment to the eye so the eye really pops. Next, I want to take my tag back and my tag front, line those up perfectly, and add some adhesive, and then place the insert straight in there on the tag back, because that's going to be the back of the shaker, but you want it to be perfectly lined up so that when you put the foam adhesive and everything on the front of the shaker, it isn't wonky. So it's important to do this before you add your acetate to the back of the front of the tag. Trying to get these lined up perfectly. This one gave me a little bit of trouble for whatever reason. Had to reline that up. So I just want to take my finger and kind of go all the way around the edges to make sure that's nice and secure. Go ahead and pop the front of my frames off now. I did die cut an additional tag shape from a piece of acetate, and this is one of my favorite ways to do shakers. That way I know that the acetate is exactly the right size. It's going to fit perfectly. So I'm just placing that right on the back of the tag fronts. Using a nice strong adhesive. I'm using the Glue Glider Pro adhesive to attach these. And there's the front of my shaker. I needed to trim a little bit. I kind of didn't get that attached quite straight on. Then I am going to flip it over and put 2 layers of foam adhesive all the way around. This is going to ensure that it keeps the shaker material in place. I did go ahead and punch my holes. That way I knew where to avoid the foam adhesive. That's where I'm going to thread through my baker's twine at the top. So I'm going to put my foam adhesive right below that little hole. And then I'm framing up the opening with 2 layers of foam adhesive. So I'm just going to pop off the one layer and build up 2 layers all the way around. I'm going to do this for both of my tags. Exactly the same. So there's kind of what it's going to look like. Once the noses are dry, I'm going to go ahead and assemble my little scene inside my shaker. So I've got both my little reindeer. I'm using some bling glue dots to attach these so that they're looking at each other. I'm going to take a glue pin and glue my candy canes in place. They're a little too thin for the bling glue dots, which is unfortunate because I love using the glue dots so I don't have to mess with liquid adhesive, but the liquid adhesive is really the best for these teeny tiny little candy canes. And at this point, I decided I needed just a little bit more color, and I really oftentimes like to add something to the acetate window. And the Reindeer Games has these adorable little hanging ornaments. So I stamped a bunch of them. I actually put 3 of them on an acrylic block at a time so I could stamp it just 4 times. And then I'm going to color in the ornaments. So all the round circle ornaments are in shades of red. The stars are yellow. And then the little oblong ornament is all going to be in shades of aqua to kind of match the card. And then I'm going to die cut all of these with the coordinating dies. I don't think I ended up using quite all of them. There are, I believe, 5 ornaments per card, but I'm using glue dots to attach these, just kind of tucking them underneath the edge of the opening of the frame, but on top of the acetate. So it's just an additional layer, but this little pop of color, the hanging ornaments from the opening, just is so super fun. I absolutely love it. I'm going to take a little Wink of Stella clear glitter brush pen and color over those to add a touch of glitter. And then I'm going to take both the front and the backs of my tags and glue in place the little hole reinforcements that I cut from the Tags a Lot die collection, just from white cardstock. I'm going to take a static cling powder tool around the edge of the foam tape on each of the shaker openings, and I'm going to fill them with these little teeny tiny white micro beads from Honeybee stamps, but then I'm going to also sprinkle in some pretty pink Posh iridescent star confetti, pull off my backing paper, and then take the back of my shaker tag to the front and finish off my shaker. So that is going to pretty much finish off the shaker portion of this. All that I have left is to add some twine and any additional embellishment up near the top of my tag. So I threaded through some red and white baker's twine and knotted it, and then I'm just feeding through a little white silk ribbon through 2 teeny tiny jingle bells. I'll thread that through the top of my tag as well. I'm going to tie it in a couple of little knots to secure it and then tie it in a bow. I couldn't figure out the best way to do it. I kept trying to do it and I realized I needed to knot it twice, and that was going to make it a lot better. There we go. Tie the little bow between 2 of the jingle bells, trim up the ends, and that is going to finish off my Reindeer Games shaker tags. Thanks for joining me today for the Handmade Holiday Day 5 series showcasing these reindeer shaker tags, showcasing Mama Elephant stamps and dies. The supplies I used to create these shaker tags are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Please subscribe for weekly card making and stamping videos. Here are a couple videos you might be interested in showcasing gift tag ideas for gift giving. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.